Welcome to our channel. Before we dive into today's powerful topic, make sure to subscribe, like, and share this video with friends and family. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming up. Today, we are going to uncover 7 incredible Buddhist teachings that can bring profound change to your life. These ancient practices and wisdom hold the key to peace, abundance, and spiritual growth. One specific method involves writing powerful numbers and placing them under your pillow. The results will leave you stunned. Stay tuned to find out how these simple actions can transform your reality. Teachings 1. The Four Noble Truths are the cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy, offering profound insight into the nature of suffering and the path to its cessation. They are: 1. The truth of suffering. Dukkha life is filled with suffering, whether through physical pain, emotional distress, or existential dissatisfaction. Everything in life, from birth to death, contains elements of suffering. This truth acknowledges the inevitability of suffering in the human experience. 2. The truth of the cause of suffering. Samadaya. The cause of suffering is attachment, desire, and ignorance. We suffer because we constantly crave things, pleasure, wealth, status, and when these desires are unfulfilled, it leads to pain. Additionally, ignorance of the true nature of life, particularly the impermanence of all things, fuels our desires and attachments. 3. The truth of the end of suffering. Nirodha. The cessation of suffering is possible. By letting go of attachment, craving, and ignorance, we can free ourselves from the cycle of suffering. This state of liberation is known as nirvana, where all desires and attachments are extinguished, and one experiences profound peace and freedom. 4. The truth of the path to the end of suffering. Magga. The path to end suffering is the Noble Eightfold Path, which includes right understanding, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Following this path leads to spiritual enlightenment and liberation from suffering. These 4 noble truths provide a roadmap for anyone seeking to understand and transcend suffering, ultimately leading to inner peace and liberation. Teachings 2. The Noble Eightfold Path is the second of the 4 noble truths in Buddhism and outlines the practical steps to overcome suffering and achieve enlightenment. It serves as a comprehensive guide to ethical conduct, mental discipline, and wisdom. The path consists of 8 interconnected practices that support one's journey toward liberation from suffering. These are: right understanding, samadhi, understanding the nature of reality, particularly the 4 noble truths. It involves recognizing the impermanence of life and the causes of suffering. Right intention, sammasankappa, cultivating positive thoughts and intentions, such as compassion, kindness, and renunciation of harmful desires. This intention leads to actions that benefit both oneself and others. Right speech, sammavaka, speaking truthfully and harmoniously, avoiding lies, gossip, and harsh words. Right speech promotes peace and understanding in relationships. Right action, sammakamanta, engaging in ethical behavior by refraining from harming others. This includes actions like not killing, stealing, or engaging in sexual misconduct. Right livelihood, sammajiva, choosing a profession or livelihood that is ethically sound and does not harm others or the environment. Right effort, sammavayama, cultivating good qualities and abandoning negative habits. Right effort involves striving for mental discipline, letting go of unwholesome thoughts, and nurturing positive ones. Right mindfulness, sammasati, practicing mindfulness and awareness in all aspects of life, especially in thoughts, feelings, and actions. This leads to deeper self-awareness and control over the mind. Right concentration, sammasamadhi, developing focused and deep concentration through meditation. This leads to clarity, tranquility, and insight into the true nature of reality. Teachings 3. Impermanence, Anicca, is one of the core teachings in Buddhism, reflecting the fundamental truth that everything in life is in a constant state of flux. The concept of Anicca highlights that all phenomena, whether physical, mental, or emotional, are temporary and subject to change. Nothing lasts forever, and this is true for everything from the seasons to our thoughts, relationships, and even our very lives. understanding and accepting impermanence can be a powerful tool for spiritual growth. When we recognize that everything is transient, we begin to let go of the attachment to things, people, and experiences that we often cling to. This attachment is a source of suffering because it creates the illusion of permanence in a world that is constantly shifting. When we resist change, we suffer when we inevitably face loss or transition. By embracing impermanence, we can cultivate a mindset of acceptance and equanimity. Instead of holding on to fleeting moments, we learn to appreciate the present as it is, knowing it will change. This understanding fosters a deeper sense of peace and freedom, as we are no longer controlled by the fear of loss or the desire to hold on to the past. Ultimately, the recognition of impermanence encourages us to live fully in the present moment, letting go of attachments and embracing change with an open heart. It is through this acceptance of life's transitory nature that we can find true liberation and inner peace. Teachings 4. Compassion, karuna, is a central practice in Buddhism and refers to the deep, genuine desire to alleviate the suffering of others. It involves cultivating a heart of kindness and empathy, extending love and care to all beings, whether human, animal, or even the natural world. Unlike pity, which often maintains a sense of separation between the person feeling sorry and the one suffering, compassion seeks to understand and connect with the suffering of others on a deep, heartfelt level. In Buddhism, compassion is seen not just as an emotion but as a conscious action. It's a way of being that recognizes the interconnectedness of all life. By developing compassion, we transcend self-centeredness and cultivate a sense of unity with others, understanding that the pain of one being is the pain of all. Compassion involves seeing beyond differences, offering help without judgment, and acting with the intention to reduce suffering, regardless of the recipient's background or circumstances. To cultivate karuna, Buddhists practice loving-kindness meditation, where they mentally offer well wishes and relief to others, starting with themselves, extending to loved ones, then to neutral people, and eventually even to those with whom they have conflicts. This practice helps to expand the heart and mind, gradually transforming the individual into a more compassionate and loving being. Ultimately, compassion is a transformative force, not only healing the suffering of others but also fostering inner peace and happiness. When we approach the world with a heart of compassion, we contribute to the collective well-being of all. Teachings 5. Mindfulness, Sati, is one of the key practices in Buddhism, emphasizing the importance of being fully present and aware in each moment. It is the art of paying attention with intention, without judgment, and with an open, accepting attitude. Mindfulness involves observing our thoughts, feelings, and actions as they arise, acknowledging them without becoming attached or reactive. This practice helps individuals to live in the present, rather than getting lost in the past or future, which often causes stress and suffering. At its core, mindfulness teaches that life happens in the present moment. Our minds often wander, replaying past events or worrying about the future. But true peace is found only when we bring our attention back to the now. Through mindfulness, we learn to become more aware of our body sensations, our breath, and our thoughts, noticing the subtle ways in which we react to the world around us. In Buddhism, mindfulness is not just about meditation, it is a way of living. It can be practiced in every activity, whether eating, walking, working, or interacting with others. By being present, we can break free from the autopilot mode that most of us operate in and experience life more deeply and authentically. Mindfulness also helps in cultivating a non-judgmental awareness of ourselves, reducing negative self-talk and fostering a sense of acceptance. Over time, it leads to greater clarity, mental calmness, and emotional resilience. By practicing mindfulness, we train the mind to focus and engage with the world with awareness, leading to a more peaceful and balanced life. Teaching 6. Non-self, Anatta, is one of the fundamental teachings in Buddhism, highlighting the concept that there is no permanent, unchanging self or soul. According to this teaching, what we consider to be the self is an illusion, a collection of ever-changing physical and mental components such as our body, thoughts, emotions, and experiences. These elements are constantly in flux, and none of them truly represent a permanent, independent self. the belief in a permanent, separate self often leads to attachment, suffering, and fear. We tend to cling to the idea that we are distinct from others, and that our identity is fixed. However, the reality is that everything is interconnected and interdependent. Our existence, like everything else in the universe, is impermanent and subject to change. The Buddha taught that by recognizing the absence of a permanent self, we can break free from the cycle of craving, attachment, and suffering. By embracing the truth of Anatta, we come to understand that the boundaries we place between ourselves and others are artificial. In reality, all beings and phenomena are interconnected, and we are constantly shaped by our interactions with the world around us. This realization fosters a sense of compassion and humility, as we no longer see ourselves as isolated or superior to others. Letting go of the illusion of a permanent self opens the door to true freedom. We stop clinging to fixed identities and become more open to the natural flow of life, embracing change and finding peace in the interconnectedness of all things. Teaching 7. Meditation is a central practice in Buddhism and many other spiritual traditions, offering a pathway to inner peace, clarity, and self-awareness. At its core, meditation involves cultivating stillness of the mind and body, allowing one to connect with a deeper sense of self, often referred to as the higher self. Through this practice, we quiet the incessant chatter of the mind, creating space for insight, wisdom, and profound inner peace. In Buddhist meditation, there are various techniques, but all share a common goal: to observe the mind without attachment, judgment, or distraction. Mindfulness meditation, vipassana, is one of the most well-known forms, focusing on observing the breath and the sensations in the body. As thoughts arise, practitioners acknowledge them without reacting or becoming identified with them, gradually developing greater awareness and control over their mental patterns. Another popular meditation practice is loving-kindness meditation, metta, where the practitioner focuses on generating feelings of compassion and goodwill towards oneself and others. This fosters a heart of kindness and helps dissolve negative emotions such as anger and resentment. Through consistent meditation practice, individuals gain clarity, reduce stress, and develop a deep sense of equanimity. It also helps in connecting with a greater understanding of reality, seeing beyond the surface of things and into the interconnected nature of all life. Over time, meditation leads to profound spiritual growth, bringing practitioners closer to the state of enlightenment and offering a refuge from the chaos of daily life. Conclusion. In conclusion, the teachings of Buddhism offer profound wisdom for navigating the challenges of life. From the Four Noble Truths to the Eightfold Path, these principles guide us toward overcoming suffering, cultivating compassion, and finding inner peace. Embracing impermanence, mindfulness, and the concept of non-self helps us let go of attachments and live with greater awareness and interconnectedness. Meditation serves as a powerful tool to connect with our true nature and experience deeper tranquility. By integrating these teachings into our daily lives, we can achieve spiritual growth, inner harmony, and ultimately, freedom from suffering.